Hey, what's up everybody? JayborinoPlays here. I'm starting a new custom campaign for Starcraft 2. This is Ignos, created by Njordies, the same person that made Biotech. Huge fan of his maps. I really enjoyed his terraining and unique map concepts specifically. So let's get right into it. This is a Protoss campaign. Alrighty, normal, hard. Well, let's go with normal. I always do second from the hardest for custom campaigns, or at least I try to, and then if it gets too hard, then I'll back down even further. Here we go. Karadros, have you found the source of the Zerg infestation? My research has confirmed that the primary hive cluster is far away from our city, near the other side of our planet. The fleet has been dispatched to destroy it. Good. Without the hive cluster, the Zerg will not be able to contaminate the rest of our world. I trust the cities are properly defended? Yes. I have established strong defenses at the cities near the hive cluster. What about the capital? Is Alton safe? Yes. Despite the far distance from the hive cluster, I've deemed it necessary to have additional outposts constructed to defend the city walls. A Zerg attack on our beloved city will surely fail. Let's be cautious. I've deployed scouts to patrol our perimeter. This doesn't look that well defended, Karadros, alright? You're not kidding anybody. I love this camera angle, like the bottom up of air battles. It's so cool. I'm sure my forces will handle any eventuality. Alton City is the safest place in this world. He says, as the Zerg are slowly marauding through one of his supposedly secure outposts. Oh, look at the little outlines behind the Nidus Worms. I think that's new with the 3.0 patch. The silhouettes of units behind buildings. It's pretty cool. We are completely safe here. It's been an excellent cinematic so far, by the way. This is great. I like how he's talking about how safe they are as you watch just how unsafe they really are. It's pretty cool. Ignos, what are you doing here? I bring dire news, Patriarch. The Zerg are massing near the city walls. Impossible. Your foresight fails you, Karadros. Bolster your defenses and recall the fleet. You have your orders, Executor. The fleet is too far away, and we do not have a Stargate yet to initiate a warp recall. I see. What do you suggest we do? The Stargate must be warped in at once. We had not planned to summon it this soon, which means it will take longer than usual. Waste no time then. Begin warping in the Stargate. We will warp in the Stargate at this location. It must be allowed through at all costs. To save Alton, we must destroy the Zerg hives near the city. It will be hard to destroy the Zerg without our fleet. We must protect the Stargate. Okay, well, let's check this out. The Stargate, the progress bar will show how much the Stargate has finished its warp in progress. Progress bar is 100%. The Stargate is complete. Alrighty, the Stargate must not be destroyed. If it is destroyed, the mission has failed. The condition applies even after the Stargate is completed. Okay, well, so we can't just like hold on with barely anything left is what I'm getting from that. Like, it's basically saying we have to hold on to the Stargate, and you still need the Stargate once the progress fills up. So I assume we're going to continue playing after that. I really like this terrain. It really feels like we're in a Protoss city. That's very cool. It looks like we've only got one entrance down here. Let me double check. Can they get back here? It doesn't seem like it. Wait, so we've got all sorts of stuff here. The forge structure will grant improved ground weapons, ground armor, and shields to your units. For the upgrade to take effect, you must control at least one forge. If you control more forge structures, the upgrades will improve. Okay. This is what I was looking at this. I'm like, it doesn't look like we can actually upgrade our ground weapons and armor and shields. It looks like, so what this is saying is you build more forges and you just get +1 or +2 or +3. So I assume that means we want up to, yeah, 3 forges actually gives us +3, which is way better than having to research in my opinion. Alrighty, the forge will unlock beneficent bonus upgrades. The number of available upgrades depends on the number of forges you control. If you control 3, all bonus upgrades will be unlocked. They may vary from mission to mission. Cool, I like the sound of that so far. Let's just keep getting some probes. Let's keep getting some probes. Can we not open these warp gates? It seems like we can't open these warp gates. Let's get a few extras. But we can't make more. Not a fan of that. Okay, run away. Runaway stalkers. We do have a decent chunk of cash right now, so I probably want to send a probe down here and just make a bunch of cannons. So what can we actually get? The photon cannon replenishes the shields of nearby units but becomes unpowered for 60 seconds. Increases the attack speed and movement speed of zealots. Reduces construction time for all structures and units by 5 seconds. Cool. Well, okay, you know what? Let's get another forge. It seems like we've got 2. Or I don't know where our third one is. It looks like it's down here. So let's do that first. Let's get Zealot Charge. Let's get whatever this Replenish Shields is. Let's keep getting more and more probes. We'll throw 2 on gas. And we have warp gates somewhere. Yeah, we have warp gates up here, but we can't make more warp gates, it seems like. Very interesting. Probably want to stick with a decent chunk of stalkers. Let's go ahead and put these guys on gas. And let's send a probe down here to make some extra cannons. And I think I saw, yeah. So here we go, replenish shields, the photon cannon. So, how, you know, just for proof of concept, let's hit this. Oh, I see. So the photon cannon is unpowered, but it's constantly healing the shields of our units. That's actually really cool. Meanwhile, let's make some zealots out of these down here. And, oh, we've got, it looks like Mutalisks attacking from up there. We definitely want this production cost. Was it? Reduces construction time. So it's, oh, so it reduces their cost and the time it takes. So that's a really, really good upgrade we certainly want. You know what I'm going to do, because I have some warp gates, is let's throw some stalkers up here. Can I fit them? There we go. Yeah, so we'll keep those up here. And it looked like they had banelings, so I have to be a little careful. I think we're going to need some more cannons, and the more cannons we have, the better, because, I mean, keep in mind we can use them to heal the shields of all of our stuff. Very, very neat. We have a lot of money, too, so what else can we do? We can get this bonus Frenzy, which was Zealots, right? So it's a usable ability. It increases attack and movement speed of Zealots. Cool. I still think I'm going to want a lot of Stalkers, though, because I saw a lot of... Oh, they do use Fungal Growth. So let's use this cannon ability. Fungal Growth is going to hurt our shields noticeably. So that's actually really cool, and I'm probably going to want to get Blink here, too. So I should be fully saturated at both of these. Get a couple more probes down here. Okay, yeah, this is going really well. I like that cannon ability. That's really neat. Okay, well, let's get a few more, so that way if we need to pop one, then it's not a problem. So we usually only want to have like 1 or 2 cannons down at a time. But this is, again, very, very, very neat. Let's warp in some Stalkers. We'll get even more Stalkers. Again, with the amount of Banelings, yeah, that's a lot of Banelings. We got to be careful with that. Our Zealots will just instantly die. We're going to need more cannons, though, to handle that kind of stuff. All right, get in there. We're going to lose that top cannon. No, we're not. You know what? It's probably going to die soon anyway, so let's just go ahead and shut it down. Okay, yeah, and let our cannons deal with the infestors, so that way they won't fungal us before they even realize that we're there. All right, we've got a decent amount of stuff here. Probably want to get even more Stalkers up here if they're going to keep attacking with Mutalisks up in this area. Can I build anything else? So we can get Cybernetics cores. No, so no Robo Facility. We can't drop probes up here or anything like that. We could blink stuff up there. It looks like they're attacking us from up here. I will warp in more Stalkers. I actually kind of like the limit on warp gates. I actually like that quite a bit. Okay. So cannons, you're looking good. Cannons up here, you're looking good. I guess we could get some more backup cannons just in case. Actually, no, I'd rather just have units. Let's just get some more Zealots. Actually, no. I kind of just want just a big ball of Stalkers. Our cannons can deal with Zerglings, and Banelings are just too pricey. Let's go ahead and use this Zealot Frenzy. Wow, they turn into like a whole different unit model, and they got like twice as large. That's pretty cool, and it lasts for 10 seconds. Ah! I got tabbed out. Someone messaged me on Steam. You jerks. Okay, so let's stick with this. I will throw down like one extra cannon back here. There's the Banelings. I don't even want to fuck with those. They'll do some damage to my cannons, but I'm not going to send my Zealots in to die. I could get some sentries to use Force Field. I probably should get in the habit of using Force Field. I've actually thought about this several times. In Legacy of the Void, which is going to be coming out soon, I'm sure there's going to be some sort of mission where you're supposed to use Force Field like crazy. Like, it'll be the Sentry introduction, and you're meant to just use just a crap ton of sentries with Force Fields. And I am not good at using Force Fields. I very rarely use them in multiplayer, which is probably why I never really made it past Platinum League in my prime. Now, I rarely play multiplayer as it is. I've only done my placement matches. I actually lagged out of one of them, unfortunately, so I did place into Silver. So many of you who may have seen some of my videos where I am on Battle.net, I am in Silver. I have no shame. That's because I don't really play that much. I'm confident I could get a bit higher. But anyway, in my heyday, I did make it up to Diamond 2s with my friend, which, you know, oh, team matches don't really show any skill. Who cares? All right, who cares? No one wants to hear your naysaying. All right, we all play this game to have fun in our own separate ways. I need more stalkers up here. There we go. So yeah, I like that the warp-ins are pretty limited, so it prohibits you from getting... Oh, okay, well there goes pretty much all my Zealots. Get in there. From just warping in everywhere, and it makes you be judicial about where you warp in. I also really like the way that these upgrades work. Also, I noticed Cybercore works the same way, it looks like. Yeah, so we get level 3 just from having a Cybernetics core. We only have one, unless we have another one hidden around here. And it just gives us +3 everything, which is awesome. All right, get in there. Look out, Stalker. And let's rebuild some of these cannons. Why not? I could probably shut one of them down just to recharge some of these shields. Wow, that's really cool. I don't know how long it lasts, so it looks like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pulses. It's quite a bit. You know, I also really like now that the timer... No, it doesn't look like the timer. I thought the timer was supposed to display accurate time. Maybe it's because this is still using the Heart of the Swarm in-game mod. Cancel that, actually. I want my probe to get out of there. So wait a minute. If I shut one of these down... Ah, it works on buildings, too. Oh, that's so cool. I like that a lot. So you can just keep reinforcing your cannon shields by shutting 1 or 2 down in the back. Okay, we have a lot of money, so I'm just going to throw down a lot of extra cannons. And we're probably going to need more stalkers up here. So every time my warp gates are up, I probably should just be getting them up here. Okay, focus fire. Focus fire. Well, there's only 2 cannons left. That's not bad. All right, so we're probably exclusively going to use our warp gates there. I could be getting more units down here, but it doesn't really seem that necessary. I will get some sentries. It's probably too many sentries, but that's fine. But yes, I'm imagining in Legacy of the Void, there's going to be a mission where they expect you to use tons and tons of sentries with force fields specifically in like a really short period of elapsed time. Let's go ahead and get our shields back because of that fungal growth. Oh, that's great. That's the perfect counter to fungal growth when you're playing defensive Protoss. And I am just not well versed with using it at all, which is, you know, I'm a little nervous about. Let's go ahead and recharge shields again. We're shutting down our cannons, but that's a great ability. Now, it was mentioned that the abilities may be different per mission, so we may not have the shield recharge next mission or what have you. All right, they're attacking down here now. I don't have anything up for warp gates, but I think with the amount of cannons we have here, let's take a deep breath here. I'm suppressing a cough. We may be okay. I can always call in more stalkers up here. We should be fine. Our Stargate is almost done, and I assume when the Stargate finishes, we'll either have the ability to make air units, probably in a quick manner, or it's going to recall the fleet and we'll have a shit ton. But yes, I really should get in the habit of using force fields just because I'm not currently, and I really should be. These Zerg seem to be a different color, so I'm assuming they're spawned. Zealots, I'm trying to, well, never mind. Alright, we should be okay here. Move back. Let's recharge. Oh, that's so good. I mean, the cost of 1 cannon shooting to recharge shields like that is incredible. The construction of the Stargate is completed. I will protect it with a temporary invulnerability shield while we recall fleet units. That means let's make sure that this building does not die during the cutscene where the player has no control over anything. Oh, great. Okay, we're getting some, well, scouts. Okay, never mind. Lots of carriers. Lots of carriers. All right. Give me control here. Immediately start auto-building interceptors. And murdered. And destroy the Zerg hives. Well, now that we have all of this, I am very confident that we should be able to do that. Okay, we can recall more of our fleet using the Summon Fleet ability at the Stargate. Can we do that? Summons air units from the faraway Protoss fleet. We have too much supply, so we can't do it. Our Cybernetics Core can upgrade our air units. We must have one Cybernetics Core to receive the upgrade. We kind of reviewed that earlier. So let's check this out. The Cyber Core will unlock a Beneficient bonus upgrade. The bonus upgrades vary from mission to mission. I think in this one it was Hallucination, which I never even researched. And the Stargate can now use the Summon Fleet ability to summon a small fleet to any given position. That's sweet. Okay, well, let's hotkey that in case we lose these carriers for whatever reason. Scouts, why don't you group on up? Let's leave our Stalkers at home. And let's take these carriers and just go and start murdering some stuff. All right, we got to kill these Zerg bases. And I really have a feeling that with 10 carriers, we won't have a problem doing that. And they're 3-3-3. The shield has fallen. The Stargate is yet again vulnerable. No problem. I understand. So yeah, I was pretty much saying, like, if you lost all of your defenses and the Zerg were encroaching on the Stargate when the cutscene was happening, we have to make sure that the player doesn't lose at that moment. And it's, you know, they could have just made it invulnerable without telling the player. But at the same time, if you were in that situation, it certainly would be a little strange to, like, pretty much be about... You would have pretty much been losing at that moment. Like, maybe if this was on hard difficulty, I'd have to be a lot more careful, and I can imagine, like, the size of the Zerg attacks is not... You can't joke around with them. So maybe you'd be in that situation where the Zerg were encroaching on the Stargate, and then suddenly, oh, it's invulnerable. But it's not really explained why. So it's nice that it's at least touched on, just to kind of make it a little more believable. And let's kill everything except the eggs. There we go. Well, my carriers will automatically attack the eggs. Oh my god, they're like little beehives. Big beehives. Alright, let's swing down here. We've killed one Zerg hive. And each one we kill, I assume, is going to be taking pressure off of our own base. So orange is still attacking me. I'd like to get rid of them. This is brown, it looks like. We can get rid of brown. And again, nothing is going to stop 10 carriers. I really... Unless they have, like, 50 corruptors. And then they focus fire, which the AI will not do. And they use corrupt on everything, which the AI will do. We're fine. Now, we have more than enough money to continue building interceptors. What is going on here? Oh, we can research more. Research Blink. Teleports the fleet unit to nearby target location. We can blink with air units. I like the sound of that. Let's certainly research that. All right, 2 hives down. Let's get rid of this. I'm going to kill that Ultralisk, too. I don't like how it's standing there. All nondescript. Think he can get away. Get him. Chase him down or force him into my base defenses. There he goes. Okay. Let's swing... Sentry, what are you doing, buddy? Watch this! Oh my god, I'm so good. Okay, so let's swing down here. I was going on the force field rant, trying to at least for quite some time, but you kind of get my point. I'm not good with force fields. I've never taken the time to really utilize them, which is why I'm not that good at multiplayer when I play as Protoss. End of story. But maybe if I took the time, it would make sense, but I'm also paranoid that I'm going to be trying to beat Legacy of the Void on Brutal someday, and not going to be able to complete some force field related mission where you have to like heavily use force fields to succeed in like a very I don't know, like you're being chased by Zerg and you only have like 3 sentries. I did beat that challenge, like the High Templar Sentry challenge. I did complete that. So I mean I can use force fields, but that challenge really gives you a lot of setup time, I'd say. All right, let's swing down here. Kill all of this stuff. I think we only have to kill the hives, but I'm killing all the buildings because watching I mean, it's not that often you have mass carriers in StarCraft 2. StarCraft 1, they're a little more common. Also, you know the big difference between StarCraft 2 carriers and StarCraft 1. Well, first off, the StarCraft 1 carriers are pretty much just giant bananas, which is great. And then second, the StarCraft 2 carriers launch their interceptors slower. Oh god, the fungal growth. I don't like that at all. Okay, well, I think we'll be okay. And we're going to recharge our shields pretty quickly out of combat. So yeah, big bananas. The length of time it takes to launch interceptors. You can see they launch them one at a time. That's also why Graviton Catapult is an actual upgrade. Oh, Lord. Oh, God, that's a lot. Well, maybe we'll actually lose some carriers and we can warp the fleet. We can warp the fleet in. That is a lot of Mutalisks. Run away. I shouldn't be microing. I should be giving myself an opportunity to recall the fleet in because that seems like a real cool ability. We did it, though. They have a lot of... Looks like they have a lot of colonies here too. We're going to be spending some money on our interceptors, I think, because they've got. Well, oh yeah, no, they have a lot of colonies. So this looks like probably the most heavily fortified base, but there are 2 left, so there may be more. Who knows? So we're slowly killing all the spore colonies. We're killing everything. This carrier is going to go down. Run, buddy, because we can't quite replace you. We will eventually, but right now we can't really replace you. So let's keep it up. Kill those swarm queens that are just going to heal. They're healing the crap out of themselves. You see that? Wow. That one had full energy. It healed itself up to full like 6 times in a row. Okay, this is going well, I'd say. Stop it. Where are the swarm queens? I can't even see where they are. They're healing those colonies up. I would say kill the Spire because they had a lot of Mutalisks, but I think we're fine. We did lose a lot of Interceptors. Even more colonies up there. What I am tempted to do is just swing down and kill the actual hive, and then we can worry about the colonies later. And give ourselves a little bit of time to rebuild some Interceptors here, because we lost a lot. That's a lot of spore colonies. Yeah, I can tell that, like, this one was the... You actually have to try to push into this base, and I can imagine on the hard difficulty it would be much harder. So, I'm glad I'm playing on normal. I don't feel like I couldn't beat this on hard, but, you know, on the harder difficulties, unless I've practiced, I kind of like having it be a bit of a breather so I can really show off the new stuff, like learning what the Forge upgrades did. Like, that's very different than normal. I mean, granted, once you learn the first time, it's really not that challenging, so I could arguably up the difficulty a little bit on the next map. But I'll continue playing on hard, or excuse me, on normal. We'll see, because there's been one campaign where I started on normal, upped it to hard, then it got too hard, and I backed down. So, or maybe I'm thinking... No, I'm thinking of Brood's Wrath. I think I started on hard, but then I had to back down because it was, there was just one mission that was particularly tough. The enemy attacks were very, very hard. Anyway, enough about Brood's Wrath. We are playing Ignos. This is very cool so far. I don't think I've ever seen Interceptors get fungal growth, and that seems like a real good counter to them. Actually puts them in place, and you can kill them when they're there. I would assume, like, fungal growth and or Psionic Storm would be pretty good. So let's go see if we can find the last base. It's got to be up here, unless it's weirdly hidden somewhere on like an island down at the very bottom of the map. Nope, I see some creep. This looks like it. This was a fun mission. It's a holdout. You hold out long enough and you get a giant fleet of carriers and then you just fucking dominate. It's awesome. Oh, geez. There's a lot of Hydralisks here. We're going to lose a decent amount of Interceptors. All right, low carriers. You got to move. Unfortunately, I could never warp in more fleet because I have too much supply. We might as well just take everything and just attack, with the chance of either finishing this quicker or freeing up some supply to warp in the fleet a little bit. All right, yeah, kill that Infestor before it has enough energy to fungal growth me again. There we go. All right, well, you carry over here. He's trying his best. Every time one Interceptor finishes, it just shoots out and instantly gets murdered by the 3 Hydralisks that were over there. All right, Stalkers have arrived. Scouts have arrived. Scouts. What an interesting unit, Scouts. They're very expensive, but they're, well, they were expensive in StarCraft 1. I really can't speak to how much they're going to cost in StarCraft 2 if we even have the option to build them. But, I don't know. They're just so poor at anti-ground, like worse than Wraiths, it seems like. Or at least they're more expensive for what you get. That's for sure. We have managed to fend off the Zerg. The capital is safe, for now, but we severely misjudged the Zerg threat. Yes, I'm afraid the Zerg infestation runs deep. The primary hive cluster has been strongly reinforced. We no longer have the means to purify the Zerg from Ardia. What do you suggest we do? We have no option than to abandon Ardia. We can evacuate our planet in the hopes of returning in the future. No, that is not an option. I have knowledge of an ancient and powerful Xel'Naga weapon. If we retrieve this device, we can use it to purge the primary hive cluster. What weapon do you speak of? The Ignos. But that weapon is forbidden. Death and destruction will follow in its wake. The situation is dire. We cannot let superstitions prevent us from protecting our homeworld. Marand, I like you. Karadros, Agdos, you must go to the planet Selenox, an ancient world inhabited by primal Zerg. The Xel'Naga weapon is buried deep beneath its surface. Yes, Patriarch. Yep, yeah, this Patriarch knows what's going on. Finally, we have a Protoss who will not let superstition get in the way. That was the Protoss' downfall, in my opinion, and at the end of Episode 3, the fall, in the real StarCraft 1 campaigns. That, I mean, superstitions, man. That's, the Protoss are like this most super powerful, ultra awesome race, the most technologically savvy race known in existence, other than the Xel'Naga, which may or may not be extinct at this point. And they they got defeated by a bunch of bugs. All right? That's terrible. They're superstitious. They let their traditions get in the way. So we'll see what happens in Legacy of the Void. But enough about Legacy of the Void. I keep talking about these other campaigns in Legacy of the Void. This campaign seems really, really cool. Yordi's coming back strong with really, really awesome terrain. Look at this. Look at the piping underneath. Again, his world building, his terrain building is very, very strong. It's probably my favorite thing about all of his campaigns, and that's not to say anything else is lacking. I think I really like the way that the tech tree works. It's very different. There's going to be some unique, but not necessarily super overpowered abilities. Granted, that photon cannon ability to recharge shields is pretty good. Maybe like tack on a mineral cost to it or something. I don't know. I really enjoyed it, and I can imagine on hard mode, this mission would be much, much harder, obviously, where I would be struggling to hold on, and I'd be using that ability much more tactically as opposed to just sort of flippantly like I was. So I look forward to continuing this campaign. Hand of Humanity is ending this week. If this is going up when I think it will, which I'm thinking I'm going to put this up on Wednesday, which means this Friday will be the last Hand of Humanity mission, and if it's not, then I apologize. That means my schedule got messed up in some way. But I look forward to pushing through this campaign. It's not complete yet. There's only 4 missions out. Nordy's actually messaged me and asked me if I wanted to start recording this now because he said that the 5th and possible 6 missions will take longer over time. So he said, yeah, go ahead and play it. And I wanted to for a while now, so this has been fun. All right, enough of me rambling. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye now.